is news of 2 planned cinematic Star Trek movies a lie? Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Welcome to North Wales, where it is beautiful but freezing. That's the hat. Where I want to talk to you about the great Star Trek. Saying it's a lie is a bit of an exaggeration. Let's say the great Star Trek bluff. Let's say that instead. That's more accurate, to be honest. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this news that was dropped last week on Deadline that announced that not only was Star Trek 4 with Chris Pine, etc. still in development, but actually there was a second movie as well. There was a writer and a director and everything announced. The guy from Andor was going to be directing. And that actually this was in development, and it's suggested that this was greenlit and this was leaked from sources at Paramount. I said at the time I suspected this leak had actually come from Bad Robot, not Paramount, and I can now confirm that I was right. This leak has come from Bad Robot, not Paramount. So someone at Bad Robot has decided to leak the story to Deadline that yes, these 2 movies are in development. And it is true. There is a development process in place, and there is a script for this prequel movie that is supposed to be I don't even know how to describe it, but it's supposed to be an origin story, which makes me just dread that we're going to be seeing Captain Kirk at school. But we don't know any details yet, so it's hard to say. But there is this origin movie, and Star Trek 4 is still in what they call active development. The problem is, they then don't tell you the next bit. Paramount has not greenlit either of these projects. Paramount has not put any pen to paper for either of these projects. Bad Robot is developing these movies as pitch plans. They will be pitching these to Paramount. They will be saying, look, this is what we've got, this is what we're doing, this is what we'd like to do. And Paramount will then greenlight or not, and agree to spend the money. Paramount, apparently, according to my sources, are livid that this was leaked the way it has been. And they are directly blaming Bad Robot. Bad Robot is saying, look, it wasn't me, Guff. A hand on heart, scout honour, we didn't do it. But everybody about this screams that it was Bad Robot that did it. Whether this was 1 or 2 people at Bad Robot that decided to jump the gun, or whether this was a concerted plan, is the conversation. Now, why would it be a concerted plan? Well, I've discussed this in the last video a little bit, so I'm going to be rehashing, but what I basically said, and I've been confirmed to be accurate, is that Bad Robot's deal with Warner Brothers, their exclusivity deal, does come to an end this year in August. And they are looking for a new project. They want that next big franchise, and they're hoping that that will be Star Trek. Now, I have got a little bit of a treat for you before I carry on this story. For one, look at that. And now, look at that. This is where I get to weekend. How good's that? So, they're looking for that next big project. They're looking for those 2 big movies that they can get into production and they can start making some money. The only really big franchise that they're currently involved in, or have any involvement in, is Star Trek. Now, Paramount has not, as I said in the last video, have not closed the door on Star Trek 4 yet. It's not cancelled, but it is on the back burner. It is not a priority right now for Paramount. They have much bigger fish to fry. They have much bigger projects on the go. For example, they've just announced that there will be a Top Gun 3. Now that, for Paramount, is a big deal. Sadly, Star Trek right now isn't. I'm going to get up out of the wind a little bit for you, even though, wow, hello. So Bad Robot may have actually leaked this information on purpose to try and leverage Paramount a little bit. The hope being that there would be a big positive public, us Trekkies basically, would react very positively to this, and that would then give Bad Robot, more emphasis to then, when they go into these pitch meetings and they go to try and get these things agreed, say, look, people really want these movies, let's do it, yeah? The sad thing is, the reaction wasn't massively popular towards the idea of this prequel origin story. But I do think a lot of people do actually want to see the Chris Pine Star Trek movie. So I hope personally that will happen. I like the first three. No. I like the first one. I like most of the first one. I think they cast it well. I do like them, honest. And they're not Star Trek films. They're not. They're really good action sci-fi movies. That's what they are. I wouldn't mind another good action sci-fi movie with a cast I really like. So I'd quite like that. The prequel movie, it really depends on what the hell it is. Because I think that could be really interesting and it could be bloody awful. And with the bulk of evidence that we've had with Star Trek over the last 10 years, I think it's going to be bloody awful. But we, on this channel, try not to judge things before we actually see them. So, but that's my opinion. That's my concern, I should say. Paramount. Why are Paramount so angry, and why wouldn't they have wanted this to be leaked? They have a very big year ahead of them. The entire future of the company currently is at stake because Redstone, who own the controlling share of Paramount's shares, is selling up. And apparently they are going to sell to the highest bidder. So currently anybody could step in and buy Paramount. And Paramount Global itself as a business has no control over that. They cannot control who Redstone decide to sell those shares to. So all of a sudden, one of Hollywood's biggest studios, and don't forget this is CBS as well, is up for sale. Now, the initial insider opinion was that CBS would be separated off and it would be Paramount sold one way and CBS the other. But actually what's happened is, because of Redstone, that might not happen after all. It may just be Paramount Global as a whole. Now, the people that are currently looking to buy into Paramount Global would be Warner Brothers, which would be a merger. Basically a transfer of debt rather than actually buying shares. There's also interest from Skydance, which is basically funded by the Saudi government. So I'm not sure that's going to go past the FTC, with making one of Hollywood's biggest media companies owned by the state. I don't think that's going to go down well, but we'll see what happens there. Or I am hearing rumours that actually Apple would be very interested in this as well, particularly as it's a cash buy and it would be far simpler than the MGM deal. So Apple might be interested in this. Paramount do not want any risks right now. And Star Trek to the cinema is a risk. Star Trek on Paramount Plus, not a risk. That will do well, it will do absolutely fine. Cinema, not so much. So, Bad Robot trying to get themselves a job is not going down well with certain people at Paramount right now. And I actually think that this bluff is going to backfire. So what do I mean by that? I don't think we're going to get these straight to cinema movies. And I don't think Bad Robot is going to get what it wants. I think these films have pretty much been cancelled, and I actually think this bluff by Bad Robot is going to massively backfire on them. But we're going to have to wait and see, because only time will tell. But guys, I want you to get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. Is this a bluff by Bad Robot? And if it is, do you think it's a clever one or a really stupid one? I'd love to know exactly what you think, so get into the comments. Also, what do you think of the view? How nice is that? It's starting to rain. And finally, what do you think of Star Trek future as a whole? Where do you think Star Trek's going in the next 5 to 10 years? I'd love to know what you think. Get into the comments. As always, if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can go to patreon.com/SciTrek, where most of our new videos do appear first. And you get to see them without the adverts, you lucky bunnies. Finally, go to SciTrek.co.uk, where we do articles based on most of our videos. And we try to add a little bit more information for you to digest, so go check that out too. Please stay safe, enjoy nature and the outdoors, because it's awesome. And stay warm, it's really cold. I'll see you soon.